Hello, dear friends, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of the 9th of November through the 15th. A very big, very important week with so many changes. The biggest news this week is that finally Mars is turning direct. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely happy to say that. And I'm expecting things to finally start moving forward. So that's one of the major events of the week. On Friday, Mars is turning direct. We also have a very powerful conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto, which will happen on Thursday. Also, major transformations, big shifts, new directions, transformations, a very, very significant aspect. And on Sunday, we have a new moon in Scorpio. This whole week is kind of colored by Plutonian and Mars energy. Very transformative, quite intense week. We have some intensity at the beginning, at the end. So the whole week can be quite intense, but also transformative. And hopefully, after that, things are moving forward. With those two retrograde planets in the last couple of months, with Mars, Mercury part of the time, things were probably problematic for many of us, at least in certain area. Globally, we know that we are facing some severe challenges. So hopefully this will be like a new transformational phase, and I hope that things will become better. Let's dive now into each of the days and we'll talk more about it so that you can really prepare. On Monday, we have the last challenging aspect, which includes Mars retrograde. There will be an opposition with Venus. The two planets are really strong because they are in the signs of their rulership. Venus rules Libra, Mars is ruling Aries, and they are confronting each other. Quite intense, quite challenging aspect, which can bring emotional frustration, possible confrontations, certain anger issues. In relationships, we may face with challenges in communication, in negotiations as well. And Mars is retrograde, so all of this could be triggered by some kind of internal frustration or maybe something which doesn't fit our own expectations. And it may not be expressed so openly and smoothly, and instead it could be more like something we've been suppressing for a while, and now it kind of explodes. That's why on Monday, I would recommend you to be especially careful with the people you love, with financial decisions as well. We can be more impulsive. We may struggle with finding the balance. This axis, Aries and Libra, this is the axis of finding the balance between ourselves and the closest people or our partner. It's me and the other person. There could be some misunderstandings, confrontations. So be careful on Monday. Those are kind of like the last challenges that we have to prepare for that include Mars retrograde. As you can see, finance, relationships are more unfavorable areas. The others look mostly neutral, but we still can overreact or act in a little bit impulsive and strange ways. The moon in Virgo hopefully will help us to be more grounded, more concentrated, more practical, to organize certain things, to prioritize things differently. So we may still take care of some work or some responsibilities as long as we are not overreacting and we are not too emotional. We may still do a lot of things. On Tuesday, we have Mercury ingressing Scorpio. You know that most of the time Mercury was retrograde in Scorpio a couple of weeks ago. which means that now with this ingression back to Scorpio, we can finally revisit the situations or our decisions, or we may find some answers to the challenges we have had in the past couple of weeks. Mercury in Scorpio is a great position to explore things, to dive deeper, to trust more our own intuition. It's amazing for some kind of spiritual practices, for research. But there is also a challenge. Mercury in Scorpio can make us too serious, especially keeping in mind that the Sun is in Scorpio as well. We can be a little bit more negative in our thinking. We can be a little bit more suspicious in communication. We can be more cautious. But there's also a positive side to this position, which is about finding some solutions in regards to financial stuff. If you are currently going through some transformations in this area, you can plan, you can prioritize, and take some important financial decisions. On Tuesday, we have also great aspect between the Sun and Neptune. There is a trine in water signs, which is absolutely amazing for our imagination, for our creativity, for some spiritual work or healing, and just doing something that will nurture our soul. Great time to concentrate on the things that we need to heal, as we said, and also to be more creative, to allow the inspiration to guide us. It's a great aspect which can help you to use your intuition, even when it comes to more practical things like financial decisions. The day is beneficial for business, finance, creativity, spirituality. I would say even relationships and communication can be positively triggered because of this desire to help others, to do something nice for other people, to be more compassionate, to be more gentle. So overall, Tuesday seems to be probably the most, or at least one of the most positive days during the week. The moon in Virgo can also help us to be grounded, to be in touch with reality, to focus on some practical and concrete tasks. Then on Wednesday, Venus has a quincunx with Neptune, which is a strange aspect. At first, it can bring potential challenges, some kind of illusions, maybe something unrealistic, some kind of dreams that may or may not come true. And overall, it increases our sensitivity, our emotionality, our ability also to be compassionate, to be gentle with others. And usually this aspect has a better influence at the end. So if at first we face with some challenges, if we go through them, if we are very present and we do the needed things, eventually we may actually get some great results. And at the same time, this is a great aspect for all creative projects, people who need imagination, inspiration, who work in show business, fashion industry, anything that has to do with beauty. This could be actually a pretty amazing aspect. The moon is in Virgo during the morning, so more practical, more logical approach. Around 11 a.m. Eastern, the moon will ingress Libra, and it's a great position for relationships, for paying even more attention to beauty and harmony and finding the balance and doing the things that we really love, and at the same time paying attention to other people. The day is beneficial for finance, relationships, creativity, spirituality. Be a little more careful with Neptune. Things can always mess up, but hopefully we will be wise and we will use the energy in a more constructive way. So I expect overall the day to be mostly positive, as long as we don't fall into the trap of some unrealistic dreams. Thursday comes with one of the most important aspects during the whole year. Jupiter is joining Pluto in Capricorn. And this is a major important aspect which happens, well, once in 13, 14 years, maybe even less. So pretty amazing, very empowering aspect, and one which can bring very intense, very strong desires when it comes to our goals, when it comes to our idea for growth, for expansion. It's time to transform those things. It's time to look at things from a different perspective. Socially, there could be also some important changes that may trigger many people, but this is an aspect which can really intensify your desires when it comes to your goals. It's especially important to check what's triggered in your chart actually. If you are not really sure, you can use my free birth chart calculator. Link is below in the description. And after you calculate your chart, you have to find where is Capricorn, which house in your chart is defined by Capricorn. In this area, you may go through some major transformations, some empowerment, some new goals, also desire to have more control over your life, and overall really intense motivation. On Thursday, also the Sun in Scorpio has a big quintile with Mars. Mars, which by the way is already stationary at this position. So even though we have some beneficial influences, lots of empowerment and desire to take back the control of our lives, Mars retrograde can put us in a little bit of, strange position. We may want something, it's not that simple to get it immediately. So keep in mind that Thursday, even though it can be a beneficial day, there may still be some kind of struggles or things that are delayed or things that require lots of effort. Overall, the day can be beneficial as long as we use this motivation in a constructive way. The moon in Libra puts more focus to being kind, being gentle with other people, and focusing also on our desires and our own needs when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships, making certain compromises, and also listening to what other people want to say. And Friday is probably the most interesting day during the week. It's Friday the 13th. I don't know about you. I'm personally not afraid of this combination. Some people are afraid, so we'll see what it will bring. I have to admit, I have a very important event on this day, so yeah, fingers crossed. But seriously, this seems to be a very important day because Mars is turning direct. And even though we may not feel this immediately on Friday, after that, from the following week, things should go back to normal. And we will have the green light to start fresh, to start in a new direction, to focus more in the future. For the last couple of months with Mars and Mercury retrograde, many of us were more introverted, more focused on the past, and that really makes sense. That's an appropriate thing when there are two important planets retrograde. But now Mars is turning direct. Mercury is already direct. On Sunday, we have a new moon. So from next week, it's time to focus on the future again. And this could be the last day when we may experience some stress, some struggles. Things can be a little blocked or delayed. So make sure to be careful and wise. But after that, especially after Monday, it should be a fresh new start. On Friday, we also have Mercury in a minor challenging aspect with Neptune, which can make us more unconcentrated, more kind of like, a little bit in the skies or in the clouds. It's great for imagination and for creativity and for some spiritual practices. But if you have things that require logical, practical approach, detailed approach, be extra careful so you don't make a mistake. The moon is in Libra early in the morning, which is great for some negotiations or focusing on more aesthetical things. And after 11 a.m., the moon is in Scorpio. Quite intense, quite powerful position. Scorpio is also a sign ruled by Mars, so we have even more focus on Mars energy. So lots of intensity, we can be emotionally overwhelmed, we can overreact. So we really need to find our balance inside, first of all. A little yoga, a little energy practice, short meditation can really help you with that. Then on Saturday, we actually have some pretty amazing aspects. The Sun is having positive connections with Jupiter and Pluto, which are in Capricorn. Great aspects which can empower us, which can help us to find a new direction, some new goals, maybe even more motivation or desire to look at the future from a different perspective. It's time to be serious at the same time because Scorpio and Capricorn are probably the two most serious signs in the whole zodiac. The moon is in Scorpio as well, and it's actually invisible because it's right before the new moon. So the energy is a little down, at least on a physical level. We can still finish some old things. We can kind of like solve some issues from the last month. And at the same time, we may feel really empowered and inspired and motivated and more in control. The day is beneficial for business and finance, for creativity and spirituality, even more. So I highly recommend you to make a short reassessment of the past 2, 3 months, maybe even more in your life. And what's the thing you are ready to leave behind you? Because Sunday comes with the new moon in Scorpio, which I believe will bring us a fresh new start. Mercury and Mars are already moving direct, and we have a new moon, which is always the beginning of a new cycle. So from next week, from Monday, we can really roll up our sleeves and get to work and get to basically making our dreams and our desires true. It's a great time for some transformations. It's a great time for healing, especially things that are triggering you emotionally or spiritually or psychologically. The new moon can bring you this type of healing energy. And actually, it's a great time to do something for yourself so that you really support this healing process. Venus, on the other side, is squaring Pluto, which can, charge our emotions even more, can make us overreact, take things personally. And there could be some transformations or sometimes even power struggles in the area of relationships. We need to be more careful with financial decisions, with relationships. The most positive thing we can do is some kind of spiritual or healing practice. And actually, in order to support you, I have created a brand new program, which is a personal program. It's called Breakthrough Life Coaching. So if you're interested, you can check the links below. It's an amazing combination of different methods which can really transform your life. With this new moon in Scorpio, it's an amazing time to dive deep and explore and understand why you struggle with those specific things that are challenging and why not something else. There's always an answer, and there are many things that we can do to change thing. So if you're interested, check the links below and you will learn more about it. The last thing we have to mention about Sunday is that after 11 a.m., the moon will ingress Sagittarius. So overall, the second half of the day can be a little easier with the moon in Sagittarius, bringing this lighter, more optimistic, more positive energy, more focused on the future. So we can really feel, okay, it's time, I want to do something. Here is what inspires me. Let's get to it. So with that, my friends, we covered our weekly horoscope. If you want to receive daily horoscopes and lots of other valuable information, go to my Instagram and follow me there, Marina Stoichkova, or check the links below as well. Pretty intense, pretty amazing week with so many changes. The major theme, of course, is Mars, but also this Plutonian energy. We have a new moon in Scorpio. We have conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto, and even the sun in sextile with Pluto. Lots of transformations and great time to get empowered and to heal whatever we need to heal in our lives. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.